Happy Monday. I am Ken Johnson, your thrifty apprentice, and welcome to today's live. How is everyone doing today? Friends, I am really happy to be sharing with you all 31 paintings that I completed throughout the month of July for World Watercolor Month, which ran hand in hand with Thrifty Giveaway Month 2024. Now, I will admit to you that July was an extremely busy month for me. However, I took immense satisfaction from all of the things I was able to accomplish, all of the new friends I was able to make, maybe some of the artists that we were able to touch and help out. It was so cool, so wonderful, such a great feeling. I want to, kind of keep that going throughout life in some shape, form, or fashion. It was really cool, and I really enjoyed it, and I really had fun. I want to thank everyone that participated in Thrift Giveaway Month, everyone that came along each and every Sunday and supported it. It was really cool. Uh, we just announced the winner for week 4 this past Sunday, which was Sunday's release, which was yesterday. And I think it's MV Rush 3883, if I'm not mistaken. That's who won week's 4 giveaway, which was like the A Gallo, the mountain scenes, the bamboo palette, um, that whole prize package. So I am still waiting on the email at the thriftyapprentice at gmail.com in order to get that last prize package together. And I'm actually still waiting on Annette Farrow's. And we are, we've got we're winding down to the door being open for claiming that prize. So we will see what happens there. So let me move this out the way because I may be showing it to you later. Friends, let's jump into this. We're going to get right into it now. I do not have a prompt list pulled up. So let me grab my other phone and get a prompt list pulled up. Christy is actually live at the moment. She's live on this app called Palm Street, which is like it's like a platform where you can buy buy plant life live as it's being shown to you by the people who take care of them, or anything plant life, flower life based. Because of course she's painting on there. It seems to be real cool. I'm going to mix this first one because it happens to be running simultaneously with the live I'm doing now. But can't catch the one later on tonight either because that's going to be why I'm doing Patreon. So it is what it is. I am pulling up a prompt list. Now, how many of you guys actually completed all of World Watercolor Month? I want to know. Jump in the comments. Jump in the chat. I'm saying comments. If you're here live, jump in the chat and let me know if you completed World Watercolor Month. If you happen to be catching the video in replay, you're part of that great replay crew, which I happen to love very much, by the way. Jump in the comments section and let me know, did you complete all 31 days of World Watercolor Month? And how did you look at it exactly? And I'm going to explain what I mean in just a moment. So, I just want to pull this up really quickly so we can look at it. So, directions for World Watercolor Month was to make art that features watercolors or gouache during the month of, well, they've already said July 2025 now because it's rolled over. Post it, then you would add the hashtag of World Watercolor Month and World Watercolor Month, in our case 2024, and then you would just repeat. Um, Prompts. Okay, so they still have the prompts for 2024. Okay. This is something that I pointed out on Facebook. I did hear a lot of people saying that they didn't participate in World Watercolor Month because the prompts didn't resonate with them. They wasn't really excited about the list or all of the list. So I made this post on Instagram, because I've been saying this for years. Each time I do World Watercolor Month, note, prompts are entirely optional. The point is not for you to follow a rigorous schedule of words that's given to you and you have to paint around it every day. The point of World Watercolor Month, in my opinion, was to push and encourage an artist to practice basically. Think about it. 31 continuous paintings. You have no choice but to learn something and grow in some type of way, to figure out something about yourself, your art, your technique, or to learn, pick up on a technique from someone that would help you grow outside of the entire challenge realm. So, in my opinion, I've always felt like that's what it was about. So, you didn't always have to paint the word that you were given. You could paint, I don't know, um, roller skates if that's what you felt like painting. The point was to encourage you to paint. So the prompts for this year, we're going to go ahead and jump and get started. I started off this World Watercolor Month painting in my Jane Davenport Mixed Media Journal. Now, this is a journal that was released with her 2018-2019 collection. It was carried by American Crafts and produced by American Crafts and carried by American Crafts, and brick and mortar stores was Michael's. You could find them in Michael's. It was in there for a while. Of course, this was pre-COVID, so I don't think you can really find many of these anymore. Maybe on her website. I'm not sure. I don't want to tell you that and would not be the case, but if you had the chance of finding it, it would be on her website. So, day one, and this is a mixed media paper, and I'm actually going to end up switching. I did not use this book for all of the prompts. So, okay, day's one prompt was pattern. And as most of you who have been following the channel know, I used several different sets of watercolor throughout the month because I was, using and testing each one of them for review. Now, the Viva art review has already come out. I'll be sure to try to link it in the video description once the live ends. And the Supervision Professional Watercolor Set review has already come out. I'll be sure to try to link that as well. So this first one was pattern. It was done with Supervision watercolors, and I found this reference photo on Unsplash. Wasn't no, I'm sorry, on Google, but it was an acrylic painting that was really large. I just wanted to focus in on the one pot, so I cropped the picture out and just went for one particular pot. And I encourage you guys to do that all the time. When you're looking at a reference photo, you have to learn, or sometimes, or you're going to learn that you can edit. You do not necessarily have to draw or transfer everything that you see on your reference photo into your paint. So I just concentrated on the one pot. I put it on a ledge table, and then the background it was just really cool. Now this paper only allows you to layer so much, so I did eventually switch over to color pencils, which is why if you can see a shine, the sun is really bright and coming through the window. It's kind of cool, but kind of not at the same time. Um, ended up using colored pencils in order to still build a bit more saturation shadow. Um, because after about the second layer, it seemed as if though the paints became slick and didn't want to stick to the paper. But that is the composition for day one, which was pattern. Day two was rush, and I did something a little bit um, I don't know, less tight for me anyway. I just kind of washed in a sky in the background, and here we have a cup of coffee, which you guys see me with all the time. I have my cup of coffee right now as we speak in my World Watercolor Month mug. And of course, I went for caffeine rush. You know, you take the words however you want to. A couple of macarons on top of a book. Sort of a Sunday morning for me. You know? All right. And that was done with supervision watercolors as well. Nope, that is not true. Let's rewind. That was done with Mission Gold. That's Mission Gold watercolor. Mission Silver. Get it together, Ken. Mission Silver by Magello. Magello Mission Silver, which is the student grade um, line to Magello's Mission Gold professional paints. So there. This was done with supervision professional paints. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. The next thing up was day three, which was turn. And I kind of pondered over this one for a moment. I wasn't sure. I had a lot of different ideas going on. A top, someone actually turning around. That was one point I was looking up at the ceiling fan and thought, you know what? I'll paint the ceiling fan. It's turned. But eventually, I settled on the actual turn symbol that you would encounter if you were out driving. So, yeah, real cool. This was done with the vibranium art. What is? Do they call it the artist watercolor set, or do they call it professional watercolor set? I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I think it might be called artist. But anyway, really, really, really super nice set of paints. I'm going to be doing a review for that set of paints coming up soon in the month. But real cool. Found that picture on Unsplash. And it was kind of the first time I've ever attempted to put as much on a page, especially on a mixed media page. So this was real cool. And it took the salt really well. That supervision watercolor reacted to salt super, super well. After this point, I decided I was kind of tired of struggling with the paper. It's not that the paper is bad, just the techniques that I was using, especially with some of the ideas I was coming up, required a lot more layering with the paints. And I didn't want to always have to lean back on colored pencils, not doing World Watercolor Month anyway, to complete the painting. So I decided to switch papers. Now, one would think that what I would have done is grab one of the thousands of sketchbooks I already have. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So let me tell you, the issue with having a brick and mortar art supply store that you can get to within 10 minutes of leaving your house is that you tend to leave your house a lot. So I said, let's go to Jerry's and see what's in there that may present itself okay on the watercolor paper side, something that's, I can kind of feel around and see if it's going to maybe allow me to do the techniques I want without me spending a lot of money on the paper. What I ran across was the SoHo Urban Artist watercolor paper. It is 25% cotton, 140-pound cold press. Now, I picked up the 9 by 12 inch paper pad, and it has 12 sheets in it. So, of course, I knew to fit 31 paintings in it, I was going to have to, have a little ingenuity going on. So let's flip through this. We'll go through the paintings, and then I'll talk a little bit about this paper, just in case you happen to be interested in it. So first out the gate on this paper was day 4. And this is where I started to, decide. This is where I started to say, like, okay, Ken, you have a lot of days to fit into 12 sheets. And I was only painting on the front. So, some of the paintings got small. There were some days when I really didn't have time to do a painting, if the truth be told, in conjunction with the other videos and the other lives and just a regular life that I was trying to live. So some of them got small simply because I wanted to make sure I painted every day, um, but still was able to get everything else I need to get done without missing one of these. So I'm gonna go through this first page and then I'll jump in the comments. Keep in mind you can ask any questions that you would like about any of the watercolor sets that I've used. I will happily answer them. Do keep in mind that 2 of them are already posted as reviews, so you can go back and get a little bit more in-depth information about those paint sets. First up was day 4, signal. Since I work in telecommunications, of course, the very first thing that popped into my mind was a cell signal. So I painted a 5G signal. It's that simple. I decided to kind of use a different color scheme motif here. And at the time, like I said, this was running hand in hand with with Thrifty Giveaway Month as well. And if I'm not mistaken, around this point, we were still on that 30-minute painting animal book. And one of the techniques I learned behind that zebra was kind of doing this muffled vignette behind it, uh, without making it a complete whole solid flat wash. So I kind of brought that technique over into one of the world watercolor paintings, and that's not going to be the first time that I use it. Next up, oh, I'm sorry, and that was done with Mission Silver class paints. Next up, we had patch. I did a color patch on a leaf. I can't remember if that leaf broke off a plant at work or where I don't remember exactly where I got the leaf. I painted a leaf with a color patch on it. You know, it's that simple. And that was done with vibranium art, if I'm not mistaken. Then we ran into rust, which was day 6. And with rust, that was supervision. And I actually really enjoyed this one. I've painted rust before on the channel. And the honest truth is, I hadn't painted it since that video, which I want to say was almost a year ago. So this was really fun to do again. And I kind of think I want to do a full composition that's going to be surrounding rust. Maybe we'll do like a rusty car or something of that nature. But I do want to kind of revisit the whole rust idea. It was really cool. What did I do rust with? Rust was what, day 6? Day 6 was done with supervision, and then day 7 was done with supervision as well, which was study. And I don't know, I really couldn't think of anything to do, so I drew a box of thrifty crayons. I don't know, kids would use them to do art studies. I was doing a watercolor study. I was testing paints, so I was studying. I don't know, that one was kind of one of those things where I just kind of winged it, but I wasn't really worried about holding too true to the prompt. The point was I just needed to paint. And that would cover, what was that, the first 7 days, so the first week of World Watercolor Month. And this is something I encourage you to do. Draw small. You don't always have to draw this big, large, extravagant painting. You know, get your juices going. Most people who are working on larger pieces, I've noticed, have a side piece that they're working on while they're waiting on certain parts of the larger piece to dry anyway. And painting small is great for, exercising your artist muscle memory, becoming familiar with something. Um, take a watercolor technique that you don't know and practice it. Draw out squares on the paper and practice that watercolor technique over and over in each one of those squares while you're waiting on something that you're working on to dry. It's a great way to build artist muscle memory, and you'll start to do that technique naturally. Be able to blend it in, see where it fits into what you're working on. So jump in the comment section, see what's going on. Hello to all of my friends who have just joined us. Please do not hesitate to jump in the comment section and say hello, speak. If you have a question, don't hesitate to drop it in. I would love to answer it for you. And depending on how much time we have, once we do this flip through, we may end up doing some painting. I may tell you some secrets. We may sing a song. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so let's see who's here. Hey, Tiso, welcome to the live, love. Let's see who else did coffee for Rush. You did coffee for Rush too? Yes, it was the first thing I thought about because as I was looking at the prompt, I had just woken up and I had a cup of coffee in my hand and I laughed out loud because I was like, this is perfect. Oh my God, guys. I got some flowers. I got some roses. I want to show, wait. Okay, I know. I just happened to look across the room because I've started to keep live flowers inside the studio. It's inspiration. Because you guys know I love flowers. Keep all jokes to yourself. Yes, I love flowers. I love receiving flowers. I think it's really cool. I think it's so crazy that men shouldn't receive flowers. That's so lame. That's only a United States thing. It's so lame. Okay. But I get flowers all the time, and I'm happy to admit that. I don't care. Look at this. I wish I could really just show it to you guys. This is crazy. These roses are absolutely gorgeous. Look at the color. And I've had them for a couple of days now. Um, and they're blooming so beautifully. Oh my goodness. Where I live, I do not actually get a lot of sun. It is so ironic that I say that as the sunlight shines through, you know? And this happens to be one of the few lives that ever does it in. But yeah, aren't these are gorgeous. It was half a dozen of them. Uh, and I just came home and I'm running my mouth, talking about my day, blah, 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 blah. And I turn around and on the kitchen bar, there's this vase with these beautiful half dozen roses in it. So they are sitting in my studio as inspiration. More than likely, they are going to become a painting really, really soon. So let's see. I am painting the handout of the jug right now, actually. I am painting the printout of that jug. Oh, gotcha. I am making it way harder than I should. Four colors instead of two in different hues. Living you learn. See, that's what it's all about. That's what I was just saying that, you know. Now you're like, okay, what I should have done, but I know you. You're gonna push through. You're gonna see it through, and you're gonna what? Trust the process. I'm gonna have T-shirts made and sell them in my shop that say "Trust the process." Um, let's see. Hello, Corinthian. That's so cute. Hmm. They're the ones that's responsible for those roses. I love the idea of flowers in the studio, right? And it's so, and I look over at them, I'm like smiling. They keep me in a happy mood. A happy painter makes a happy composition. It's so cool. Just brought in some hydrangeas. Ooh, I bet they are beautiful. I don't. I would have to go to the flower shop in order to pick some up. I don't know of any place naturally. Now, here in my city, we have a botanical garden, which I've gone to before. And I think I've shown you guys some of the pictures from that trip. If not, then I'll put together a little slideshow of all of the pictures of the all of the flowers, excuse me, that I took pictures of. And maybe I'll show that in Patreon where, I don't know, or maybe I'll post it on Instagram for those people who follow on Instagram. You get to check that out. But I bet you they are so beautiful. Yes, Amy, somebody spoiled me. And it was so cool. It was so cool. Friends, if you're here and you haven't done it already, don't forget to sprinkle a little love now. Go ahead and give this video a boot, little thumbs up. All right, that's all that's in the comment section for now, my friends. All right, so let's go ahead and keep rolling on through. So we were at day 7 study. We're gonna flip on over and we are gonna come to day 8, which was feather. So for feather, I was really into, again, we were into that week where we were working on animals, and I just went for it. I said, you know what? Let's keep going for it. I decided on doing a bird. Let me tell you, I enjoy, that whole trust the process. This was a painting where I had to trust the process because for a minute I kept thinking to myself, this is a hot mess. It is not going to come out right. But, I had to buckle down, just go for the juggler, and bam, here we are. This is what we had. And feather was what, day 8? Day 8 was done with Mission Silver. So that was Magello Mission Silver. And I used the technique where you paint the background, you get it really wet, and then you take saran wrap, you kind of bunch it up, give it time to dry. It creates these really cool textures in your background. Now, I've used that technique before. Probably the most popular reel on Instagram right now is a speed painting of me doing grapes. Um, and I did those grapes years ago. It just so happens I had my YouTube channel at that point, so I taped it and put it up on YouTube. That was before I was able to rip it down off of YouTube and speed it up to put it on Instagram. And to this day, it's still the most viewed time lapse on there. And I used that technique in order to pull off that texture that I had in those grapes. So it was really cool to see that technique in the book as well, and that these books were geared towards beginners, and it was teaching them techniques like that. It was just real cool, real cool. And again, that was done with Mission Silver. Moving on, after Feather, we had day nine, which was Trunk, and I just kind of did a kind of a forest of birch trees, tree trunks. I don't know. It was one of those days where I was painting a quick painting, or maybe even catching up because I was a day behind. And I just wanted to do something really quick that made sense, but still fit and still fit the prompt. But I could get through really quickly and take my butt on and go to bed. Every time I see this page, uh, you would have to have seen the movie Boomerang to really understand. Um, with Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry, and Eartha Kitt. So I'm not gonna even go into it, but it is every time I see this page, I just burst out in laughter because of something from that movie. Let's move on. Let's move on. So day 10 was buried. I know I can't talk. I cannot talk. And I went with buried, glass bottle buried in the sand on the beachfront with shells and kind of like glass fragrance around. Okay, so I decided at the beginning of World Watercolor Month what I was going to do was take the opportunity to use those 31 days to possibly do some tutorials I had saved that I wanted to practice on, to possibly follow along to some other written instructional videos, or some other books that I've seen some things in that I wanted to kind of tackle and kind of do, especially if they fit the prompt, or if I could go through that particular resource and find um, a, a lesson that kind of fit the theme of the prompt. So this particular one happened to be a lesson that I kind of bookmarked by Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, but it's not on YouTube. It you would have to. It's a part of. I want to say one of her. It's either the glass class or critique club. But either way, I wanted to try to see if I could pull off a rendition of this painting for so long. So I just went for it. Now hers doesn't, of course, quite look like this. Again, I wanted to change things and give it a little bit of thrifty flair. Uh, but I think it was really effective. I really love the way this one came out. Maybe with the exception of the shell over here. I feel like it left something to be desired. But overall, I was really happy with this one, and because there are a lot of them that I'm like, I did the painting, but this one I was really happy with, and this was 10 days in, mind you, and this was done with the Vibranium art set. Those are some beautiful colors in that watercolor palette. They really are, really beautiful saturated colors. All right, next up came a breakdown page. This is kind of during the time period where I was working a lot of days at you know, my clocking in 9 to 5, and I was needing to put in a little bit more time to try to get some things accomplished. So I ended up painting really small for several days in a row, which I was okay with. I, again, you don't have to paint big, extravagant masterpieces. You don't have to paint anything elaborate. The point was to paint. Point was to practice. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my stomach is really growling. Like, it, I am going to tear some food up when we get off of this live. All right, I'll get through this page. We'll check the comments section again. We'll see if there's any questions. So here we have day, what is this? Day 11. And I'm going to kind of just breeze through this one really quickly. This is day 11, which was huddle. I kind of did a huddle of cherries. Um, a group of things together around. Ooh, come on, stomach, calm down. I know you guys can't hear that, right? Jump in the comment section and let me know if you can hear my stomach having a conversation over me while I'm trying to explain World Watercolor Month. Took a couple of swallows of coffee, hoping it'll kind of help settle it for a second. All right. So Huddle was done with. I think all of these may have been done with some. Let me see. Huddle was what 11. That was done with supervision. 12 was supervision. 13 was supervision. 14 supervision. 15 supervision. And the last one. Okay, so everything on this page is done with supervision except the last one, which is done with Mission Silver, which should be 6 right. So we had Huddle. Then there was Scratch, and I just went with the cactus. It was easy. I could get it done. I would have a painting done. Next we had Arch, and that is one of the images that you can Google, and it typically pops up for Arches National Park. I didn't have to do too much thinking. I just had to paint what I saw. Next up we had, what was this? Spiral. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it was a kind of throwaway painting or cheap painting. Of course, I've done this painting on the channel in a bigger version before, but it was what I thought of. It was the first thing that popped in my head, so I just kind of repainted it. And the pattern spirals around the shell, so there, that's what that is. Next up, we had vitamin. I thought of vitamin C, so I did an orange. I was kind of thinking Christmas in July at this point because I think I was putting together an idea for Christmas cards. So I just kind of painted, with some orange and some berries and pine needles, citrus, vitamin C. I don't know. Let's just go with it, okay? Day 16 was fiber, and I did cotton thread, which of course is made from cotton fiber, on a spool. Again, my drawing was really wonky here, and I was kind of worried, but I just trust the process, and it kind of looks whimsical and purposeful after the fact. But I was really frustrated with just painting those little spools of thread. It was crazy, my friends. It was crazy. All right. Anything new? Look at the precious birdie. Yeah, the birdie was cute. I enjoyed the bird. I really, really enjoyed um, painting the bird. I actually enjoyed World Watercolor Month overall, considering everything else that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we had plant, and the ones that you see that are the bigger ones are the ones that actually came out on YouTube. So all of the full pages you can actually find either time lapse or demos for them on YouTube. Next up was plant. Plant was just something I pulled out of a book. It was really easy, straightforward. I was able to do it, get through it, because I still needed to edit video and all that other stuff. And plant was day 17. Day 17 was done with supervision. Yeah, because this was actually the painting that was done as the demo and the supervision review, if I'm not mistaken. So you can definitely catch that. Next up, we had Viburnum art with, I think it was a record, which was sort of a throwaway painting. I don't know. I was just tired, and I said, "Here's a record. It's in its cover. It's on a table. I'm done." You know. And then after record, we had widen, and I just kind of drew a budding magnolia. It would widen as it continued to, you know, yeah. Again, it did everything wasn't as literal for me. It was just really about making sure that I got through the painting and trying to match the prompts as closely as I could. Some of these are going to be completely opposite prompt. I'm not going to even use the prompt. And that's gonna actually start real soon. Next up, the stripe. It was my first attempt. That's the first little kitty I've ever drawn. I've never drawn a kitty before. I've never attempted to paint a kitty before. Um, it, it was. I followed an image in the 30-minute painting. What is it? Easy watercolor. That book with the big monstera leaves on the front of it. And I just kind of, sketched out the little kitty, and yeah, he turned out cute. I think one of his eyes, his eyes a little off. But for the first time, I was really tickled and pleased at the little kid. I think it'll be a cute sticker. I really, really do. So the next painting, what did I do the kitty with? The kitty was what? Striped. Striped was day 20. That was Vibranium Art. Day 21, which is filter. And I did an ice cream cone. See, this is what I mean by this is one of those days when it was like, okay, I'm just gonna do what I want to do because I couldn't really think of anything filter. So I drew an ice cream cone because I like to eat, and it was some ice cream in there that resembled how I did it here. Yeah, that's how it turned out to be that way, and I think that was vibranium art as well. Moving on. At this point, I think we were into the mountain book. It had to have been, maybe it was that. No, it couldn't have been the mountain book. A Gallo. Because that's what these were. Oh, I backtracked. That's right. Don't worry about it. Yes, these were done. This was the mountain book. This was A Gallo. And this should have been Pool, which is kind of tumbleweed. I don't know. And this was Title, but they were actually both from that um, Ready to Paint in 30-minute mountain scenes. Beautiful book, beautiful illustrations in that book, super easy tutorials that are geared towards beginners but give you a super cool sense of accomplishment because the techniques that they teach you in the book and how to progress into those techniques advance beyond just the beginner stage, yet it shows you how to accomplish this in 30 minutes. And if you're new and it takes you longer than 30 minutes, then with practice, you would definitely get it down in 30 minutes. So, really cool series of books. I'm not going to stop raving about them because I think they were really, really cool. Now, these were done with A Gallo. A Gallo is a beautiful handmade Italian watercolor. There will be a review coming of those paints coming up in the month of August, so you don't have to wait too long for that. Love the texture in its ultramarine blue. It is absolutely insane. The granulation in the ultramarine blue in this set. Full on hand down recommend those paints, although I haven't gotten to the review. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful paint. And I ended up putting them in a palette with my Poems About You handmade watercolor paints, and they complement each other so well. We're going to get to some paintings that were done with those in combination. Um, Beautiful, just love those paints. Love those paints. And I was really pleased with the way this one in particular came out. I really love this painting. And I do think I'm going to transfer it. Now, here's the thing, I have to be careful. I would love to do prints of this because I am about to start, posting prints for sale on both um, Instagram. I'm still working on getting the shop attached to the Defiant Art page, so we'll talk about that in a future video. But not Instagram, but Etsy, and I also think I am going to start listing things on Palm Street as well. But again, those are future videos. I want to pull this out of here, but I did do this from an instructional book, so I need to be really careful. I don't need to be putting this into anything that would be sold, so this probably won't be a print, but I would love to pull it out of the book and actually print to hang in my studio. I was really happy with the way that one came out. Next up, we had, what was this? Effervescent. And I ended up drawing two champagne glasses, toasting with some bubbly spilling over. It did give me kind of a New Year's vibe as I was painting it, but then, I thought it'll be okay. We're gonna roll with it because you can drink champagne for many, many, many different occasions, including simply just going to drink champagne, you know. So, love, I kind of like this. This one was an instructional on using just two colors in order to pull off an entire composition. And I also wanted to kind of push back even more against the not using black. So black watercolor happened to be one of the two colors that was used in this particular composition. And I had fun with this one. This one was a lot of fun. Let's see, what was that? That was effervescent. Effervescent was day 24, and it was done with vibranium. Vibranium, I'm sorry. Yeah, vibranium. Next up, we had day 25, luminous, and day 26, global. Um, I actually have not finished this painting, honestly. I really haven't. Now, this is a combination of poems about you and A Gallo, and this is a combination of poems about you and A Gallo. This one I am super happy with. I love the card, love the way it came out. I love the detail. This is another one that I want to pull out of here and print and hang in my studio. I think it is wall worthy. Um, and one day when I give you guys a tour of the studio, you'll get to see the entire wall. You're able to see some of it in videos when I do like face to face, but by the time we get to a studio tour, the entire wall will be sort of covered in just different paintings that I've done over the years that I was happy with at that point in my painting career. I look back at them now and I'm like, oh, I don't do this like that anymore. I changed this about that, and that's a part of growth. But at the point that I did them, everything that's on the wall was something I was happy with at that point with the experience that I had. So love these. Love this one. This one I actually need to finish. It definitely needs a little bit more darkness and saturation added to the shadows in order to not only give it some more roundness, but just kind of make them pop off the page a little more. Definitely need much more highlight inside those bulbs to emphasize the fact that they're luminous. And I need to definitely do something to spruce up the shadows. I'm probably going to end up going into there with maybe some watercolor markers because I know that dye would kind of push things up. Anyway, so those were all done with poems about you in a gallo. Again, very very cute combination of paints. I actually recommend both those brands. Poems about you, you can get on Etsy. Beautiful, beautiful. Love those paints. I'm going to stand by that. Love those paints. And then a gallo. I know you can get Jackson's art. Uh, but yeah, so that was those two, and I thought that the cart for global was kind of a funny play on the fact that I really want to go to Japan. Like, really, really would love to take a trip to Japan. Next up, we had obstacle and sweet. So obstacle was day 26. That again done with a gallo and poems about you, and a gallo and poems about you, because this is where I actually combined both of those palettes into one. And this was done in a Patreon live, if I'm not mistaken. We were just kind of painting. This is going to end up. This definitely is going to end. This is one of my originals. It's going to be ripped out of here because it's going to go into a future dated book that I continue to talk about. That I know you guys think I'm not working on, but I am. But it's a slow process, and I want to get it as close to right as I can the first time without having to redo it over and over. So obstacle, I did water kind of running down rocks. Rocks giving resistance to the water getting to where it's trying to go. I actually like the way it came out. It got a little cartoony because I went in with that Pentel pocket brush pen, which is fabulous, by the way. Fabulous. um, to kind of add some separation in the detail of the rocks, and I got a little carried away. That brush has it's a real brush, has separating hairs, so it responds really easily to any type of pressure. So you really have to kind of get over that learning curve. And my lines got a little thicker than I wanted them to in some places. But the line quality that you can achieve with that brush pen is absolutely fantastic. Next up, here again, stack of donuts. Just something that I wanted to work on to go along with the story that I'm currently working on. So we did a stack of donuts. Pretty straightforward. And that was for sweet. We are rounding things out. We're coming up to day 29, Serenity, and day 30, Dick. So, day 30 was a paint what I want to paint painting, and day 29 for Serenity played off of something that I did, I want to say, in the last YouTube live. So I was supposed to do it on Monday, and things got a little hectic, and I ended up doing that surprise live on Thursday. And what I painted in that live, I have no earthly idea where this sketchbook is. I started cleaning. See, that's what happens when you clean your studio. See, that's what happens when you clean your studio. I started cleaning the studio yesterday, and now I have no idea where anything is because I put everything up. Um, Here we go. I think I ended up painting it upside down, but it is what it is. So this is what was done on the last live we were together on YouTube, and it was a play off of this. I told you guys that I'd done sort of a lake scene because I like being out in the wild, in nature. That's where I feel the most serene, the most calm, the most kind of in tune with just who I am. And I want to do a play off of that, and that's how this particular one came about, which is the one that we ended up doing. Um, what is it? This is the one we ended up doing on live. So, real cool. Birch trees, kind of in a forest. This is one of the few times I've played with the techniques of having a really kind of light, washed out background, sort of hoping to emulate that those are really pushed back, and maybe there's a little mist over there. I'm not sure. Kind of what I was going for with this. It turned out okay. I'm not completely disappointed with it. There are some things that I would like to change about it, but I'm not completely disappointed with it. I was really happy with the way this came out. I was. It was really simple and straightforward. And then here I ended up just doing a cottage on the prairie with a little barbed wire fence in front of it, separated with some grass, kind of playing off um, coming off of the top here. Yeah, simple, straightforward. And that ended up being Dick, which was completely not a dick. Maybe there's a dick in the little house, somewhere. Who knows? But Serenity, this is definitely where I feel the most serene. So I feel like that one hit on target. All right, we're gonna check the comment section real quick. Let's see what's going on. Look at those precious birds. Yeah, I like the birdie. I like the birdie. I feel like he was kind of sweet. The koi, love the koi. Thank you, I appreciate that. Love the last page. I Some of them I was really serious about. Some of them I was just like, let's get this one done. Um, those roses are beautiful. Thank you and welcome, curious artist. Hello. Thank you for joining us here in the live and thrifty community. All right, so that seems to be all in the comment section that I can see right now. So we're gonna jump on over to the last page. And the last prompt, day 31, was shell. And you may remember this one from the Viva Art. You may remember, yeah, Viva Art review. I think that's what that ended up being done in. Really cool. Had a lot of fun. Those paints, you know, you can check out the review. I won't bring it up here. You can definitely check out the review though. Definitely wouldn't be the paints I say run out and get. Usable, very usable. Don't make no mistake about it. All paints can be used. It just depends on what you're trying to use them for. And some of them, although they can be used, don't mean it's worth worth their time and effort. All right, so those are all 31 days, my friends. I actually really enjoyed World Watercolor Month. I enjoyed the challenge of getting through it, forcing myself to kind of think around as many of the prompts as I possibly could, seeing what I could come up with to paint, having the opportunity to practice on some things that I wanted to touch bases on and haven't actually had a chance to make a video on. So now I can make videos on some of those techniques and feel a little bit more confident about what I'm talking about what I'm doing, because I've had a chance to practice 31 days of a technique in some shape, form, or fashion. So let's talk about the paper really quick. This paper really reminds me of Fabriano Studio paper. It has that same kind of feel to it, and maybe it's because they're both 25% cotton. I don't know, but it has that same kind of feel where, do I have Fabriano here? Let's see. I think this sketchbook is bound with Fabriano Studio. Yes, it is. I recognize this paper texture anywhere. And that's exactly, let me see. Well, the back of the papers are going to be sized a little bit different, and I don't know if you can tell from the front of the papers. Now, the visual indents or the visual sizing that's on top of the paper seems to be just a tad bit more coarse on the Fabriano Studio paper, but this Soho Urban paper is extremely close. And friends, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have that sketchbook bound with Fabriano because I was trying to use it up. I really am not the largest fan of Fabriano Studio paper. Um, it's not bad, just like this is not bad. They just wouldn't be the first papers that I recommended. Now, let's talk about it. This paper did allow me to layer as much as I wanted to. Well, more than the mixed media paper was allowing me to layer anyway. Now, for paintings like, say, the bird, this required an extreme amount of layers to really get the saturation and pull it off the way I wanted it to. I also ended up having to use just a tad bit of colored pencil and go in with some bleed proof gouache. So there were several different medias used in order to pull this off. The paper actually took well to the crinkling of the paper. What am I trying to say? The saran wrap, in order to create that texture in the back, and it actually holds that texture beautifully. I will also say that this paper also allows you to lift quite well. There were several times when I ended up lifting colors out of certain areas because I wanted to get white back or get back to the white of the paper, and I was able to lift out areas as well as layer. So it was really cool. As I mentioned earlier, there were several different paintings that I was using the salt into watercolor technique in order to try to pull off texture, and it took really well to the salt. There were areas where I was using the credit card scraper in order to make texture into some of the things that were being done, and the paper would take the abrasion um, without tearing. Now, I will caveat that with the lifting, you do have to be careful Now, I was initially using something I should have been using. I need to get me another scrub. Now, this is a mantle scrub, but this one is nylon, and it can be really rough on watercolor papers. So it's rather important that you um, it is rather important that you use more of a golden line or a soft scrubber, especially on a paper like this, because it will peel really quickly. Had to do some lifting here, and I still need to do some things here to just finish it up. I feel like that's the last thing that's not 100% complete. Now here the paper took a mixture of watercolors, during graphite paints. I ended up using just a little color pencil as well, and definitely bleed proof gouache. So it definitely took a lot of different mediums, and it layered okay, but it's just still, it doesn't offer all of the qualities of a paper. I felt like um, with it being more of a wood pulp mixture than cotton, I still had feathering depending on the paint that I was using. I still was dealing with really harsh drying lines on it, that I was constantly trying to catch and blend out, especially in those areas where I did not want harshness. Um, as I said, the paper did tear easily, with too much pressure of scrubbing to try to lift from it. Let's see. Yeah, and it warps. I mean, most papers do, but for the most part, I had every single one of these taped down. It was the only way to achieve the blockage that I got and the separation that I got on most pages. And still, you can see it bows. So, you know, wouldn't be my most recommended paper in the world. However, it is a paper that will work. I feel like it's better than now. And if you disagree, that is perfectly fine. But I feel like it's better than like Canson Excel. I feel like it's better than Strathmore 300 or even 400 series, which for me to say is quite feat because you guys know I don't like Strathmore 400 series. I love their 500 series, which is 100% cotton paper. But anyway, that's beside the point. I do believe that it's better than the 300 or 400 series for Strathmore, not the 500 series. Um, let's see, I would grab it before I grab any of the budget grade papers that are included in your economical budget sets, like that paper that came in the Viva Art set. Um, I would say that paper that came in the Shapiro Farben set, but honestly, that paper that came in the Shapiro Farben set is kind of cool. Actually, those paints are kind of cool. We unboxed those in the last live and kind of painted with them. That's wait a minute. That's what we painted this with, if I'm not mistaken. This was done with Shapiro Farben. Uh, I'm sorry. I think I like those paints, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the review of them. Anyway, I would pass on the paper unless I just had to, but I would grab it before I grab Campson. So guys, that's our 31 days of World Watercolor Month. I'm gonna check the comment section and then I'll show you guys some things that's coming up on the channel, and we'll look at the time and see where we are, and we'll decide whether we're tired of each other or whether we'll hang out some more and do some more stuff. Let's see here. What's going on over in this comment section? This page. What was your favorite? What was my favorite? My favorite painting? Hmm. My favorite of them would have to be. See, I'm torn. I'm torn. I'm torn. I'm torn. Okay, I'm torn. I'm torn because I really like the birdie. Okay, I really like the birdie. I really like the turn signal. I was kind of proud of myself with the turn signal, especially achieving all that small foliage detail in the back and still being able to maintain separation, working on this mixed media paper, which did not want to allow me to layer the way I wanted to. Um, I really enjoyed the bottle, and I was super thrilled with this one. I just like the color, the vibrancy. I think this one, I'm so drawn to this because of the paints. I really think that has a lot more to do with the paints than the actual composition. I like the carp, and I really like the forest scene. Okay, so I think my favorite, eh, I think my favorite is the bird. Eh, no, my favorite is the bottle. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the bird. It's yeah. I think it's the birdie. I want to honestly say this landscape, but it's more about the paints here than anything. But with the bird, I was using a student grade paint. You know, it wasn't. Although the Mission Silver class review is about to come out this upcoming Wednesday, and as I'm going to tell you guys in that video, those paints are so close to Mission Gold, which is probably why I like them so much. That's one of the few student grade paints to a professional set that I can barely tell the difference, and I do mean barely tell the difference between Magello Mission Gold and Magello Mission Silver. I'm really, it's really hard. I mean, there is a difference, but we'll get into that this upcoming Wednesday though. So if I just had to, give a gold ribbon to anything, it would be the bird. I like the way it came out. B, I like the techniques that I used in it because not just the saran wrap technique, but I was also using credit card techniques. I was having to go in and use line quality and really figure out how to divide those feathers up to make them look like there was some type of realism. It was this one overall. I think I liked the most, especially due to the fact that I tackled it with a student grade paint. Okay, let's see. I don't like Fabriano. Fabriano doesn't like lifting. Oh, not good. I pick Canton any day over Fab. That's what's up. The birch tree looks like music notes. Oh, you know what? Maybe, huh? You mean this one or this one? No, you gotta mean this one. You definitely gotta mean this one. I can see that. It was fun. I like birch trees. I like painting or attempting to paint birch trees. Anyway, um, music paper. Yes, the bird is by far the best. Yeah, I really liked the way the bird came out. It was just and the rest. And here's the thing. I the, this is a reflection of me sitting down and attempting to do something that I would might consider selling. Not that I'm going to. But the rest of World Watercolor Month for me was fun. I wasn't attempting to paint masterpieces. Um, some of those days, like I said, were days that I was simply just trying to get something on the paper. I mean, I punch clock where I work 40 hours and I run an art business outside of just making, the free videos and participating and stuff. So I have a really, really busy life. The fact that I got through 31 days in itself is actually my favorite painting. The fact that I painted 31 days with the way my life is set up and the way my checking and savings account is set up where I have to work more than one job. The fact that I got through 31 paintings, that is my favorite painting of World Watercolor Month. Friends, let's talk about what we got coming out. What we got coming out. The first one, don't turn it. The first one, don't turn it. Huh? Oh, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. I think it would be cool to scan your work, print on rice paper, and use for collage. Oh, now there's an idea. That's a cute idea, man. I have artwork that ends up on the front of a lot of stuff, especially journals. I just don't have anything, like professionally printed. A lot of my stuff are handmade sketchbooks. Which, speaking of, this a Sunday, my friend. Came out yesterday. We had that baby hit the press. Like Larry the bird over those trees. See, and you saying Larry the bird over those trees, bring me back to boom, back to boomerang. See, I am going to find that clip of that little girl explaining her painting to Eddie Murphy in that classroom. I'm gonna post it in the creation station. Cause that's the only place I can post that clip and get away with it. If you're part of the creation station, I want y'all to see that little clip where that little girl is explaining to Eddie Murphy in the classroom why her birds are not in the forest. It is hilarious. And it's so funny that I mean you should say overlay the birds on the tree. I just can't. I want to tell you. I can't tell you on YouTube. I can't. It's not good. All right. So here is the sketchbook that came out in this past Sunday's video. This is what we call an upcycle, my friends. This sketchbook was made from an already glue bound watercolor paper pad that was started out as 8.5 by 11.5 that we cut down to an 8.5 by 8.5 square book without cutting through the back cover, and then actually use the back cover to wrap around and create the closure for the front of the journal. Afterwards, everything else was simple. We were simply decorating. And I love the way this turned out. I'm going to be doing a lot of the leftover paper pads that I have this way. It makes them a little bit more appealing. It makes you kind of want to grab them and paint with them simply because of the way that they look, especially if you're a content creator, you just kind of want to show it on camera. And they're also absolutely amazing gift ideas that you can pull off by simply picking up a paper pad and a pack of pattern paper, which won't cost you anything. And mind you, a pack of pattern paper will help you create several of these. And this is started out as a suit color paper pad, so, if I was to buy that paper pad individually, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have paid any more than about $4 or $5 for it. It just so happens that this one came inside a suit color art kit that I broke down. So, there. That's how that turned out. I still think I want to put a book plate up there, but other than that, I think it's really cute, and more than likely, it's probably going to get painted with. I need to ink that cardstock. You do have to be careful of the quality. Excuse me, of the quality pattern paper that you use. Make sure it's not that'll crack easily. Anyway, Wednesday we have the review for the Magello Mission Silver class paints coming out, and we are going to be painting this little beauty, and this is one that I'm actually going to be turning into both prints and stickers. Um, really like the way that this one came out. I think it's gonna make really cute stickers, and that's what we're going to be tackling on this upcoming Wednesday. Let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to share with you, my friends? Let's see, how long have we been on? Where are we? An hour and 12 minutes in. Was there anything else I wanted to share? We will be working on the video. So let me show, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. So the next real big event here in Thrifty World that we're going to be working on, we'll be doing Inktober. And I really actually needed to unbox. I need to get, I'm going to unbox some color pencils tonight in Patreon. Our Patreon theme tonight, if you guys want to join us over there, is going to be centered around sort of mixed media. We're going to be looking at the beauty of using watercolor paints and color pencils in combination, or even how you can use watercolor paints as your underpainting for your color pencil work to keep you from having to do so much work with the color pencils. And if you are not a color pencil artist and you've ever been interested in it, I think that bridge between using watercolors and colored pencils is a great way to get started. You will be amazed at how much colored pencils will enhance the look of your watercolor gouache and even your alcohol marker paintings. Now, if you are a traditionalist watercolorist and you believe that your watercolor paintings can only contain watercolor, I don't knock that. I completely understand that. There are some beautiful paintings produced by beautiful artists who only believe in that type of artistry, and that is okay with me. But the way I roll is that I use in my compositions whatever I need to use in order to make them look like I need to make them look. So, tonight we're going to be looking at the beautiful juxtaposition between those two mediums and how they can blend together to make some beautiful results. So, if you're not a part of the Creation Station, do consider joining us. That live will be going down tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You will find a link for Patreon in the video description. You can join for free. It is not expensive to join the actual Creation Station, but just keep in mind, if you are a free member, you won't get access to the actual live video, but you will get access to the result from the live, which is posted next day. So, what I was about to tell you is that coming up soon, we're going to be rolling into the next really big event for the thrifty apprentice defiant art community, and that's going to be Inktober. Of course, you guys know I follow Inktober every year, and we are going to kind of be rolling into Inktober sort of the way we rolled into World Watercolor Month. I want to kind of go ahead and start to build the steam behind this now so everyone will know what's coming. We can kind of spread the word and be hyped. We're going to be looking at, again, educational resources to get someone started in that particular world of using inks. Inks are used in so many different things, from alcohol work, water soluble inks being mixed in with watercolors, um, sketchers inks, urban art sketch artists use inks. Inks are just everywhere, and I think Inktober is just a great way to explore that. And again, another great way to get 31 consistent days of practice under your belt, helping you to build your skill. So, um, coming up here real soon, I'm going to be doing a video where I mimic this set. And let me explain what I mean. This is the Durant Line and Wash Paint Pan set. We are not jumping into this. This is just going to be the catalyst for something we're going to do before we get to Inktober. This we won't be looking at until Inktober, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that to the side. Before we get to Inktober, there are some other Durant products here in the I want to jump into. So what I want to do now, the idea behind the Durant Line and Wash set is that it gives you sort of like some fine liner pens, and then it gives you a mixture of Durant ink tints pan paints, Durant pastel pan paints, and Durant graphite pan paints. It pulls certain colors from each of these sets and it put it into a set along with some fine liners, and they branded it Durant Ink and Wash. Excuse me. Now, the Durant Ink and Wash set itself is a specifically curated set where colors are pulled and put into that set in order to target those artists that are really into plein air and urban sketching. Basically, that's kind of what I think the market for that particular set is for. So, what I want to do in a video before we even get to October is actually make a master line and wash set. where I'm going to be combining all 24 of the ink tints pans with all 12 of the pastel pans and all 12 of the drawing graphite pan paints into one gigantic palette. That way I have one gigantic ink and wash set. Um, and I am more than likely going to. I already been invested in some. I've already started to invest in some new inking pens for Inktober. Now I stopped by Jerry's, and we're definitely going to be using the Elegant Writer in Inktober. So definitely get ready for that. Um, I stopped by Jerry's, and as you guys know, my go-to fine liner brand is actually made by Creative Mark, and it's the Super Black because these fine liners are super black. I love them. So I went to Jerry's and I picked up a new pack of Super Black fine liners, but these were chisel. I'm trying to find them. I have them all in the same. So there was a 3mm brush that was in that set, and it's super flexible. Now that's actually plastic nibbing, so it won't wear down. And it actually has a lot of flexibility to it with the way that it's built. And I picked up two chisels. There was a 3mm chisel, 3mm chisel, which if you're not familiar with the chisel fine liner, it is exactly what it sounds like. It looks just like the chisel end of like an alcohol marker or one of your watercolor markers. And you can use it very similarly to those. Just keep in mind that that's permanent black ink we're talking about. And then there was also a 2mm um, chisel that was in that 3-pack set. So those are the latest super blacks that I picked up. And then of course I was talking to you guys about this pen earlier. This is the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. This is one of my favorite inking pens. It is absolutely phenomenal. It has real brush hairs that split apart as you use it, and it responds to pressure so beautifully. The flexibility is ridiculous. You can get super thin lines by using the tip, or you can roll into thicker line quality by going down the brush into the belly. You can switch simultaneously between two and one line just with the pressure. Absolute amazing brush. There are some other ones that I want to kind of try out before Inktober and get picked up for Inktober. But I do know that that Pentel pocket brush will become a part of this overall during line wash set. So that's a video. I don't know if I'm going to do that as a live or as a pre-recorded video, because I'm definitely going to be painting something with the set once I get it together. And I just feel like a live that might take long, putting down the magnets on it. Oh, well, no. I don't have to put down magnets on anything, because I think I'm just going to use a half pen set, because you know the adjustable prongs on the inside will still allow me to use these straight out. Because I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention to it, but Derwent half pens don't seem to be standard. I don't know if it's me. If is that a standard half pen? I know the paint pellet itself isn't, because it doesn't fill up the half pen, especially in their pastel set. So I was just curious. But I know that the prongs will adjust to fit any pen, so it won't matter. Look for that video coming up. And look for the review of the Mission Silver this Wednesday. Look for the review of the Vibranium Art immediately following. Let me check the comment section, see if there's anything further from you guys. I'm definitely going to start moving into printing artwork, friends, and getting it posted on hopefully both my site and Etsy, so that people can take advantage of the artwork that I do if they would like to. I'm definitely going to start producing stickers, pencil bags of the sort like this, carrying cases, so that you can use them for your little to-go bags, your little travel bags, and they will have my artwork on the front. I am currently working on this product or a product similar to this. I mean, canvas bags are produced by a lot of different art companies. It's just going to be Defiant Art spin on a canvas bag, and that's actually going to be available a lot sooner than you guys may think. I'll keep you updated real quick in the near future on that. And yeah, that's it. Let's see. Good idea. Following the birds. Sketch pad. Too beautiful. Thank you, Eleanor. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. You can go check the video out. It came out this Sunday, so it should be really close to the top of the line if you just click on videos on the main page. Anything further, guys? Did you guys have any additional questions? Anything of that nature? No. All right. Since there are, I'm gonna give some questions time to, and I'm gonna do a little cute giveaway real quick while we're getting questions time to roll in. Oh, it's just gonna be a little cute giveaway, guys. It's just something real cute. I like giving away little arts. So I typically make things like this out of my artwork. These are cards, greeting cards. Let's see. That are made out of some artwork that I have done. This one is a rose. It says on the front, "Be my Valentine," so you can give it away as a Valentine card or the Valentine sweet something. Save it for next year. These are just random things that I'll be pulling out of my giveaway thing. This is a little tulip. Did many moons ago, I think with alcohol markers. It says, "You are beautiful in every single way." Yeah, yep. So that's that little greeting card. It could be used for any occasion. I painted that back in January 2023. This one was painted, let's see, 4/22. So April 2022. Um, and this one says trust, and it is what you call that flower? Oh my goodness. Um, Why can't I think of the name of this flower? Oh my goodness, I cannot believe myself right now. Okay, I am having a brain freeze. That is December 2022. Um, but we're cute. So, who wants one? No, not a miracle. Croc. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? Guys, as much as I love flowers, you guys know I know the name. Carnation? Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to say that like that. I wasn't trying to use anything in vain. I did not mean any disrespect to anyone. I just couldn't get it out. I'm sorry. All right. So, carnations. Yes, carnations. That's what it is. I couldn't get it out. I don't know why my brain was so froze. So let's go with we'll say the Valentine's for closer to Valentine. Let's go with the you are beautiful in every single way. The little tulip. It's a cute card. You can give it away for any occasion, and it is a reproduction print of a hand painted art marker illustration that I did, and you can actually find it on the channel. Actually, I think it's a demo on the channel if I'm not mistaken, because I believe that original painting was done with Five Below. Yep, Five Below markers. But that's what I always tell people about reproducing your work. It doesn't matter what you use. It doesn't matter what the pigment information is. It doesn't matter what the light fast information is. You're reproducing it. Seriously. As long as it's a good quality paint that gives you a good result. Now, of course, what if you're selling an original painting, that's completely different. But in these type of cases where you're reproducing, yeah. So, how do we do this? All right. This is how we do. This is how we do. Okay, but where is my World Watercolor Month? Here we go. First person to tell me what I painted for. And I'm gonna throw you a curveball and see how close you were paying attention. Okay, what day was this? Let's see. I got, hold on. I need to look at my phone and see what day it was first. Okay, first person to tell me what I painted for day 21, and keep in mind it's going to be the one I see on my screen first, okay? Day 21 filter. Tell me what I painted for day 21 filter. Will win the little tulip card, and I'll get it out in the mail to you tomorrow. Excuse me. First person to tell me what did I pay for filter, which was day 21. It's such a question. Maybe keeping my little tulip card, huh? Maybe keeping my little tulip card. Nope, not sand and beach. That was day 10. I love these. I like these little live giveaways where we play these little games like this. This is so cool. I like it. Last time, last little grab bag giveaway. We had the little pencil case with the Karen Dodge gouache and the 3 empty water brushes. It had 6 watercolor pencils in it, and a HB drawing pencil, and a kneaded eraser, which I'm gonna get that in the mail tomorrow for that winner. I did read a filter, ha ha ha. That's all I can think. You know what? I actually, nope, not coffee. I ended up doing, I started to do my Keurig machine for that prompt. I was like, it's too obvious. And I ended up, come on, guys. Okay, I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue. It was the first day I actually broke away from following the prompts. That should help. First day I actually broke away. Come on, people. Now, the only way you wouldn't know this is if you just like joined the live, or you didn't join the live until, because we're talking about day 21, so we were well into the live at that point. Filter, filter, filter. Ice cream. There it is, Tisa. There it is, friend. And if I'm not mistaken, you said you love the tulip card, so you pulled it off. Yes, ma'am. I drew ice cream for day 21. It was one of those days where I had like literally 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to really do something other than what I already had planned for that day. Um, I, Many of you may know, some of you don't. I don't. I work the evening shift, so I'm not off work until between 8 and 9 p.m. at night on those days that I work. And then, of course, you have to come home, get things taken care of, try to edit some videos, try to shoot some video, get in the bed so you can go do it the next day. I literally had like 15 minutes to paint, and that was the first day that I broke away from following the prompts and painted an ice cream cone. So there you have it. Tisa, you don't have to send me any information, my love. I will get this in the mail to you tomorrow. And congratulations on your cute little grab bag win for today. I got quite a few things to mail tomorrow. Winner for week 3 of Thrifty Giveaway Month, which was Eleanor Needlewoman, if I'm not mistaken. Your prize package ships tomorrow. Um, and both grab bag prizes ship tomorrow. So, I'm in the market for pencil bag and will wait patiently for yours. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. It's not going to be long. It won't be too much longer. We are cracking down now, settling on what artwork is going to be featured on the front of them. I do not think there will be any wording that maybe, because I still have time to interject it in before the printing takes place. Maybe I can do trust the process on those. That would be cute. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe those will be okay. So don't worry, Eleanor. I promise I will get those out as quickly as possible. They are in the process of being produced now. We're in the final stages of selling on the design for the front of it. So it'll be just a real quick tweak for me to trust the process on those. So not too soon. Not, I mean, sorry, not too long. I painted the same mint ice cream previously and was confused why you redid it because there wasn't an ice cream prompt. So the clue here, right? Nope, there was no ice cream prompt. Well, except for the one in my head, because all I ever want to do is eat ice cream. Because um, I am like, you guys ever seen Garbage Pail Kids? Anybody remember that? Like, I am a Garbage Pail Kid in my head. I would eat anything, anything. Love, well, except pork. Don't eat pork, but yeah, love food. Love food. Congratulations, Tisa. Thank you guys so very, very much for joining me doing this live. Oh, to whoever sent this. Look, I'll tell y'all a joke real quick. So, I love my viewers. You guys have me laughing all the time. Because I'm not rap type, and y'all know that. And sometimes I open the things that you send to I open the things that you got. Yes, a serious mystery. It really is. I open the things that you guys send, and instantly in my head a joke pops up because I think I'm a comedian. A joke pops into my head of what the person who sent it to me is saying at the point that they pick it out to send it to the studio, right? So look, this is what I have been using. This is what I have been using forever. Yes, it is an industrial size spray bottle. And I know that people have seen me use this on video for such a long time. And I can just imagine whoever sent this. Because this one wasn't marked. They are normally marked, but this one wasn't marked. Whoever sent this had to be strolling through whatever site for or Amazon. That's where it came from and went. You know what? I am sick of seeing that Johnson and Johnson Mister that Thrifty uses to saturate his paints with. Let me send him a serious, because baby, this is a serious. This is like the Bowen of Miss. Ooh, wait, Bowen might be bad reference. Back that up. Turn that around. This is like the submarines of all submarines of misters. Um, Baby, listen. I was playing around with this thing and looking at it because I thought I saw some writing on the spray and accidentally sprayed that handle down and almost drowned. It was hilarious. So thank you to whoever ever sent me this mister. It is greatly appreciated. You guys always send me the coolest little things. Um, the, the video on all of the little cute 10 palettes is coming, guys. It's coming. It's in the works for this month. Um, but my main concern is trying to get some colored pencil videos done for this month. I got this little cute doodad that came in. This is a Pentel Multi 8 PH802. Yeah. So let me explain what this little baby is. And this little cutie. So, all right. I need to show you. Well, yeah. This painting here. I was just, because this is just like kind of playing around. I was really working on the elements in the front. And I don't know if you can tell, but the house, as far as the drawing process is concerned, kind of became an afterthought. After I was kind of imagining what I wanted in the complete foreground, I was like, okay, I need to draw something on this horizon line. So I put in that house and just kind of emulated some kind of foliage area over there. Nothing too serious when I was doing this. So, okay, I love the lid and it's all chalk. Okay, that's what I'm getting to. Hey, Elizabeth. Hello. Trust the process. Yes, ma'am, Eleanor. Trust the process. So, this little baby is a multicolored. Do you guys remember those ink pens we used to get from Big back in the day? That had all of the colors going around it, and you could press the lid down, and whatever little color you pressed, that's what color ink you ended up using. Well, this is sort of similar to that, except for all of the lead in it is a chalk based type pencil, right? And it comes with all of these cool multi refills so that when you run out of one lid, you can refill it. And it's like what, two in each of the refills that's in there. And then it also comes with this really cool little sharpener, which is meant really, really tiny, meant to sharpen the chalk. And the cool thing is it's water soluble. Oh my god, well it's chalk, so of course you know it's water soluble. But that's what makes it even that much cooler. So this particular one, I actually sketched this out with the red lid. So basically you just kinda okay, so I had to release the chalk back into the top. So you basically just choose the color that you want, and it comes with red, blue, brown, orange, yellow, green, pink, or a color they call PPC non copy, which is like this baby blue type lid, right? Really cool product. And it holds that lid real secure. Now I don't want to break that, so I'm just gonna press the button while it's upside down, and it'll release it back into the little compartment that holds that color. So that's the only caveat to the pen. I think you do have to be quick with it, cause that lid, watch, it'll fall almost completely out if you hold it top too long. It is very responsive. So you just, sometimes I push it back to the side. I don't, but I normally just have my finger on it under it when I drop it, so it doesn't drop too far. And then you just go to Sketch Town, and those lines will dissolve with your watercolor as you paint. So yeah, really, really, really cool pencil. This thing, and this is a pencil. This is by Pentel. Pentel is blowing me away with their pencils and their pens. I love my pocket brush pen, which I just was raving about, and now I'm telling you about this Multi 8. This Multi 8 is it's the bomb, and of course it's got the primaries and secondaries in it, so you can pretty much use. You can sketch anything and not really be worried about the color paints you're going to be using on top. Real cool. All right. What else is going on in the comment? Draw stuff, please. Show us. Okay. That we can do. Uh, I need to find a sketch pad. I'm trying to see what's right up under me, so I don't need to run across the room. I'm probably gonna have to run across the room and get one of the smaller sketch pads. Oh God, I was just talking about this. It's right here though. I was just talking about this crazy. Let me take a swig of my coffee. Hold on. I'm just talking about this crazy sketchbook. Um, show us. I kind of feel bad that I missed World Watercolor Month and the prompts. I think I'll make August my World Watercolor Month and do the prompts. There you go, Elizabeth. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You go right forward. I encourage you to. I'm gonna be painting all throughout August too. Go for it, friend. And that's the great thing about World Watercolor Month. I mean, and honestly, now I will throw this out there. You can go to the Doodle Wash site. Doodle Wash, the site that actually hosts this World Watercolor Month, because they don't just do World Watercolor Month. They actually release a prompt list for every month of the year. So if you wanted to do a World Watercolor Month, you could actually go to Doodle Wash's site and just get their August 2024 prompt list and paint all those prompts and use that as your World Watercolor Month. You could do that as well. And who knows, maybe you'll like the prompts that's on that August 2024 list more than you like the ones that was on July, especially since you're doing it in August. I mean, and they, again, they release it. They release a prompt list every month, and it looks just like the World Watercolor Month layout. It's just meant for that particular month of the year that we're in or going into. I have referenced their site many times to come up with ideas by looking at the prompt list in the day for the particular day that I was doing a painting. So there's an idea for anyone who didn't know. So definitely take advantage of it. There may be something you want to consider. The blue isn't supposed to show up in photos. Oh wait. Ooh. Oh, the PPC one. Okay. Interesting. Well, I used the red and it didn't. Oh, well, you did say photos. Okay. Um, because I'm gonna say I used that red in that composition and it disappeared beautifully. Okay, let's see. Green. Because you already know I'm going for something easy. What I know. I didn't plan this stuff. Well, there we go. So, what else we have here? Do your own month or do a super condensed tiny painting in 1 week. There you go. Mystery, can't stop laughing. um, of the prompt. All right, so, my goodness, what am I doing? All right. There is. You see, it just glides across the paper. And like I said, it's supposed to be like a chalk. So it has a really interesting sort of flow on the paper. Like it. Can you guys see that? Am I drawing? I don't know if you can see that. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit because I know it's kind of like. Let's see. There we go. Um, you guys can see that. But yeah, like so. Um, where do I want this other one? Do it over here. Just a smaller. So it's got a real smooth kind of flow to it. It almost moves like a pen. Now I don't know if it smudges. Let's see. So it didn't smudge, and let's do a little linear work here. Super responsive, super easy to get going. Super easy to move and kind of just it doesn't take much to get it to respond. It moves right on across the paper. Let's see if the mister fits in the green canvas bag that holds your leather love joy pouch that holds your portable painter. I want a demo. Hmm. Where is my where's my bag? I told y'all I cleaned up. See y'all mentioning stuff and I done cleaned up. I don't know what none of this stuff is. This pencil's amazing, y'all. Um, this pencil is the bee's knees. The pencil is the bee's knees, friend. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, And it actually colors really well too. Let's see. Now this is that Fabriano Studio paper, but it's heavily textured. That's let's see, green, and you do have to be sure to release the lid back in. Let me see, where's the? Oh, that's blue. Is that regular blue? I'm not quite sure how I got on blue. Am I on blue? Well, I am now. That's blue. That's red. Right. Okay. And very saturated. This is kind of actually amazing for a chalk because they don't really smudge. You know what I'm saying? But the lid is like super soft. Out. This is actually super surprising. Um, but the lid is really soft. See, and you get your primaries in here, and like I said, you definitely get secondaries. Let's go ahead and do the blue. I've been doing a lot of combinations of red and green. If you don't know, Christmas is my favorite season, and I do subconsciously realize that it's coming up. So a lot more things are becoming Christmas focused, unintentionally with me. Just because, again, if I could, I was talking to Corinthians, and I was like, you know what, we should leave a tree up all year long and decorate it around whatever holiday is in that month. I think I want to do that for 2025. You know, have an artist tree up the whole year. And for each month, I'll pick some type of holiday, some type of theme, or something and decorate the tree around that just because I am weird and I feel like that would be loads of absolute fun. hmm So like after do the Christmas tree up after Christmas, and in January it'll transition into a New Year's tree, which more than likely it'll still have the same. It'll have Christmas decorations on it because Christmas New Year's go hand in hand, and then maybe after the first week it'll switch to something that's targeting a holiday in January, and then so on. February will be a Valentine's tree, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think that should work. Yeah, it'll be really cool because my birthday is in May. So for May, we can do a May 5th and May 6th tree. I'll let that sink in. My birthday is May 6th. So we're combining with May 5th, and we're doing May 5th and a May 6th tree. I'll let the adult minds work on working it out. Yes, it is a mechanical pencil, so it is super super bad, but the blue is obviously let's see if there's fifth. I love that pencil. I do too. I expected it to be hard, but the lid was pleasantly surprised. Yes, it's very soft, very very soft, very 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 soft pencil. I think it is heaven sent. um, Now it's funny because the grab bag I gave away the other day had 6 watercolor pencils in it for the very purpose of using them for under sketching because the pencils will disappear up under watercolor paints and gouache paints and acrylic paints specifically. And they're wonderful regardless of the brand or even the quality to use to actually sketch out your drawing under your painting. But this, when I open this up and crack this out, I'm like, okay, whoa, hello, friends. Here we have a product that has a super soft lid. It is not scratchy. It does not smudge with the touch very much at all. So although it's chalk based, there is something in that lid that stops it from smudging like a regular chalk pastel or a regular chalk pastel pencil will. They disappear underwater beautifully. And you get all the colors plus some that you would need in one barrel. What? Yeah, amazing pencil. Amazing pencil. Let's see. Should we put some paint on it? It's just leaves, but oh well. Let's see. I just want you guys to see how it's gonna disappear. Let me find a paint set right quick. You would think with me just wrapping up World Watercolor Month, I would just have one just sitting around, right? Alright. I need something with a mixing palette on it though. Well, it's me. Me as well. What's this? This is the of course it is. Oh, why not? This is that watercolor set I was telling you guys about. This is my handmade watercolor palette. Here we have the poems about you watercolors on the, and over here we have the 8 Gallo Italian handmade watercolors, and then we have Julie watercolors. I want to say I would have to look at the card just to make sure, but I think it's Julie watercolors. Um, I don't even have any water in here with me, guys. That is a shame. Because I wasn't intending on painting. So if y'all bear with me 2 seconds, I'm gonna grab some water and we'll throw some paint on those leaves just so you can see how that how those lines dissolve. And I'll zoom out a little bit so you'll be able to see a little bit better. Okay. I grabbed a little water real quick. Let me see what time it is. Okay, we're approaching 2 hours, so I'm gonna need to go ahead and wrap this on up, my friends. But I do want you to see how this dissolves. I'm gonna grab this brush. This is a vibranium art brush. It's number 4. I think it's mimicking a quill. This is a synthetic hair inside this brush. And now that I pulled it out, of course, there's one coming out of it. It was not earlier, my friends. 1 second. Let me snip that away. And then we're going to try that again where the brush didn't make me look like a monkey. Alright. Here we have the round number 4. I think it's supposed to mimic a quill. I'm just going to... Let's add some water to this green I already have in this palette. I'm not sure why that green is... Now this green is called chrome green. I've been trying to get myself used to it. So let's go in here and see how this is gonna blend in. And I'm just using different strokes there. Not really being too concerned with how that color hits the paper. This is phthalo. And I'm just gonna actually go in and start using phthalo as another green. So I'm not being too serious here. I'm just trying to let you guys see how this pencil will blend so beautifully with the paints. And this brush is way too big for what I'm doing. But you get the point. And maybe a few little lines. Coming up the middle of that leaf. And then maybe I'll even outline it. Now this brush, notice how I'm holding it in my hand. It's for control. But it will easily, and I do mean easily, run away from you until you have gotten you some practicing with using it. But they blend beautifully in with the paints. Look at that. You wouldn't even really even think that I used a pencil there. Like seriously. Just like that. Just I don't I don't even feel like it really needs anything else on it. I feel like that's cool. And it blended so beautifully in. Sometimes it doesn't take a lot to achieve what you're trying to do. And I had to learn that. I had to learn to teach myself when to stop, when to pull back. There we simply have the green pencil with a little bit of chrome green and a little bit of phthalo green to darken some places up. That's it. Done. So definitely a pencil. I would suggest you guys give it a try. I literally, ooh. Now y'all know I can't talk. Why are you doing it to me? I like bees in their knees, so we'll look for this pencil. Yes, it's the bee's knees. Ooh, that might be another trust the process, and maybe another past speak to say bee. Um, it's the bee's knees. Let me say. I try to pronounce it. Auli. Auli. Am I saying it? Auli? I think I'm saying that right. Auli. But that's what these beautiful babies are. And they kind of like chameleons. Let me show you what the green would look like. It's so pretty. Just putting a little bit up around the corner. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shimmery paint. I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but it's a beautiful shimmery paint. Can you see that? It's absolutely beautiful. Can y'all see that? I don't know if you can see the amount of glitter or the amount of mica there. That might be a better swatch. The amount of mica that's in those. Look at that. So pretty. So, so pretty. Especially when they dry. They'll get a little bit more, even in thin washes like I put on the leaves, it'll get a little bit more opaque as it dries. It'll be really pretty. Look at the shine. Look at how it's reflected on camera. Oh my goodness. I love them. No, Amy, I have not done a video on them yet, but there will be one coming soon. I had to get through July. I did. I had to get through July with World Watercolor Month. So now that I'm through that, I can concentrate on kind of putting videos together. There will be some things that won't necessarily get a video, but may actually get talked about in the weekly live versus having its own pre-recorded video, simply because I do actually have a lot of products to get through. So just like the Shapiro Farm we opened last week on live. Now, I have not done anything else with the Shapiro Farm set since we, did our painting last week. I, as you can see there, that is a week old dry down palette. Well, not a week. When do we do it? Thursday. So couple days, but none of the paints have flaked off of there. None of that thinly or those thin mixtures that dried down flaked off. There's no grit in that paint. Maybe a little bit in that one, but I think that also had ultramarine blue and burnt umber in it. So, um, very surprising. I'm investigating. I'm trying to figure out who makes these paints. I really, really am. I'm digging through my stash. The only thing that I've seen them stand close neck and neck to, all the way down to the way the paints start to look as you paint with them, the indentation it leaves, the shininess of the tablets themselves is superior paints. But I'm gonna dig more before I decide that because I thought Vibranium might have been superior, but the more and more I dig into those paints, the less and less I believe they're produced by Superior. I think I had someone tell me in a live maybe or in a chat somewhere that they think those paints are the same as the Hemi watercolors, which I can't be sure about because the only Hemi watercolor set I tried, well, I don't know if it was called Hemi. I think it's just called Maya. Whatever it was, I wasn't thrilled with it. I was only thrilled with the gouaches. So I'm interested. I know the Hemi set, the watercolor set that that person was talking about. I've seen it on Amazon if I'm not mistaken, but for it to be a Hemi set, I think it's kind of pricey, like 40, 50 bucks. I'm still trying to decide whether I'm gonna get that, especially when I know I can pay 40, 50 bucks and have like several professional paints. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what we do with that. So, any other questions? Any other things? Yes, my friends, I suggest you run out and get this pen, this pencil. This pencil is called, once again, the well, what I do with the box? That's bad. It is the Multi 8. Multi 8. It is by Pentel, and it will change your life. I'm telling you, it will. It is absolutely amazing for like, um, hold on a second, because I just realized we're still zoomed in a lot. There we go. So yeah, this pen will definitely change your life. Pencil, I'm sorry, will definitely change your life. It will make your drawing process so much easier. You don't have to have several different pencils. You can literally switch between color leads as you are working. So definitely something I would suggest. If I can remember, I will throw it in the video description for you guys. And I'm also going to be working with masking fluid for the first time coming up in a video this month. We still got a lot of August left, so we'll get through all of that. All right, friends, that is pretty much going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me, kind of going through World Watercolor Month. Hopefully you like looking back at the journal. Don't forget to go check out the journaling video. Don't forget to check out the upcoming review on the Magello Mission Silver Class watercolor paints this upcoming Wednesday, this upcoming Sunday. I have not quite decided whether it will be another journaling video or if it'll be more than likely it's going to be a colored pencil video because I need to really get through those colored pencils. So for all of my colored pencil fanatics and colored pencil friends who haven't seen me release a colored pencil video of any type, because we were trying to get through World Watercolor Month, do not fret. We will have one coming up. I just had a question pop up in the comments asking me, does it erase well? So let's test that out. I didn't actually have to erase with it when I drew with it both times, honestly. So I don't know. I've never actually tried to erase with it. So let's see. Because that may be the caveat for somebody, right? Definitely stains quickly, which is surprising because the lid is so soft. Now I'm using, just so you can see, eraser is definitely staining the tip of the eraser, which happens typically. And then it just kind of rolls off as you continue to use it. But I don't want to erase too hard because it's typically damaging the paper. But I'm not going to say it erases super well. So it's something you might want to be pretty sure of your lines with when you are, you know, when you're sketching it out, sketching something out. You might want to be pretty sure of your lines because you might not get another opportunity, the erasing opportunity, so to speak. So, yeah, be sure what you're doing. Be a little bit. Go in with a little confidence when you're using this pencil, but I still recommend it, hands down. I think it is absolutely wonderful, and I love the way that it blends in with watercolors. Oh my God! Look at that glitter paint. Is that not gorgeous? That's so pretty. Mm-hmm. Love that. Okay, I will be looking at that all day. All right, guys. We've been on long enough. I have really loved, enjoy hanging out with you guys. If you are a part of the Creation Station, don't forget to run on over tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will be playing around with more watercolor fun, and we're going to be interjecting some color pencil fun in there as well. In the meantime, I am going to actually do a little bit more cleaning of my studio. As I said, we will get all prize packages currently that have been processed out and mailed tomorrow. So you can look for those in the next upcoming days. If you have any questions in the replay of this video, don't forget to jump in the comment section because the live chat will be gone at that point. And drop any of your questions. I will be happy to respond to them as soon as I possibly can. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you guys something else real quick. And I'm just kind of playing around. This is nothing serious, but I am playing around with working on how to turn random watercolor blobs into works of art. It's gonna take a second to really get that done, but I am working on a video of the sort. And I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna go get me something to eat, and then I'm gonna work on some more product development. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every, you do still intend to do Black Widow vid, right? Yes, Eleanor, I do tend to still get to the Black Widow pencil vid. It is on my color pencil list video, my color pencil list to-do list, color pencil to-do list. But it's a lot of them on there, so I promise I'm going to eventually get to it. Um, and yes, I need masking fluid video. Cool. All right, friends. But as I was saying, as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep creating.